Ugh, man. So at this point in my career, I don't know if this is really believable or not, but in 2016, when I first started my filmmaking career, I wanted absolutely nothing to do with filming weddings. Now in 2022, I run a company called Two Fly Guys Media that specializes in wedding filmmaking, and we film probably 60 to 70 weddings a year, and I absolutely love it. So if you're new here, because, well, I'm new here, my name is Ross Barnett. I run Two Fly Guys Media out of Charleston, South Carolina, and it's a company that we started back in 2017, and now it's kind of grown to bigger than I can handle, and we specialize in filming weddings, and I want to talk to you today about why I absolutely love filming weddings. If you've been around the filmmaking industry for any time now, you'd know that you'd hear the term like low-hanging fruit is wedding videography, because everybody has a friend who's getting married, and anybody can start filming a wedding by a friend of a friend of a friend. And you know, I've always heard that too, and I think that's what one of the things that kind of put me off from wedding filmmaking in the beginning, is because I always saw it as like a low-hanging fruit, as something that, oh, that's just something you do when you can't get any other work, or oh, that's just something you do because you have a friend of a friend getting married. And it's kind of turned into something completely different. So a short story on how I got started. When I was originally getting started in filmmaking, I was working for a lot of restaurants, doing a lot of restaurant film work, and really kind of wanted to take that onto more commercial projects and larger projects that way. And I wanted to steer away from everything that was wedding video. But then I had a friend who was like, hey, I booked this wedding, I really need a second shooter, like come hang out with me, come film this day, we can split the money. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, cool. Didn't know a whole lot about filmmaking at the time, was pretty new, and he was a little bit better than me, so I wanted to learn everything I could from him. And I showed up on that day and honestly had a blast and made more money than I had in my past 2 commercial shoots just by splitting the profits with this guy. And so it was like, wow, wait, there might actually be some work here for me. So shortly after that, I booked my own wedding that was a friend of mine. Had a blast doing that too. And then from there, I think in my first year of actually pursuing wedding films, I booked 12 weddings, and then the next year was 30, and the next year was 40, and now we shoot probably 60 to 70 weddings a year, and I cannot get enough of them. So I wanted to come out today and just kind of break the stigma on wedding films, because it's not always just the low-hanging fruit of wedding, or it's not always just the low-hanging fruit of filmmaking, but it can really be just a whole lot of fun and really develop into quite the career. So nowadays when I hear things about like, oh, you don't want to do that, or like that's the low-hanging fruit, it kind of makes it hard to believe, because I'm like, well, if weddings was the low-hanging fruit of filmmaking and I'm having an absolute blast doing that, then what's to stop me from doing anything else? Instead of just telling you that I love wedding filmmaking, I think it's probably going to be important to tell you a couple reasons why I love wedding filmmaking. Number one is the flexibility. So I work out of this office every day of the week. Monday through Friday are typically editing days, but they can turn into creating YouTube content, they can turn into running to the grocery store. I have tons of flexibility. And with the wedding market typically as it is, you can really only book weddings on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, because, I mean, every now and then you might catch a Thursday or a Wednesday, but you're pretty much guaranteed the hours that you can book weddings. And like so the flexibility is just always there. I absolutely love the flexibility of being able to shoot a wedding on a Saturday, come back home, edit that wedding Monday through Friday, and then go back out and shoot another wedding on Saturday. And I know that sounds like a lot, but like, I don't really edit every Monday through Friday. Up next, and another reason why I absolutely love this job, is the consistency. Now, I know this can get hard for a lot of filmmakers in the creative world on creating the same product all the time, but it keeps it so easy for a business side, because you have your set packages in place, you have your set goals in mind when you show up for a shoot, and you know exactly what you need in order to create an amazing wedding film. So the consistency is always there. And I know obviously it differs from couple to couple on the things that they want, or the styles that they want to incorporate. But being a wedding filmmaker, knowing how to show up to a wedding and knowing the 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 important shots that you need to get for the day in order to create a wedding film is just phenomenal in that consistency. Another reason why I love wedding filmmaking It's probably because of the area I live in. Living in Charleston, South Carolina, it is I believe it's on the top 10 list of wedding destinations in the world. Don't quote me on that, might be wrong, but it is a spot where tons of people come to have destination weddings, and they're coming from all over the place, all over the states, from Canada, from Ohio. Everybody is just always coming to Charleston to get married. So the consistency of being in this area, business is always happening. Weddings are always happening, and I'm always getting calls from different wedding planners, from different brides and grooms, always coming to Charleston to get married. So the consistency of work and just the area that I live makes this job so much more fun. And another reason you should totally consider being a wedding filmmaker is because you literally get to go to a party every single Saturday. I mean, what more could you want from that? Every single Saturday when I go to work, it is the best day of those people's lives. They are having an absolute blast. There is a party all night long where they get sometimes slap drunk and have the best time of their lives. And so, like, what other work environment do you know that you show up to a party and you get to film people having fun? Like, there's nothing to that. And one of the last reasons that I enjoy wedding filmmaking is the sentimental side. There's just something cool about knowing that you're creating a product and capturing a memory that will last this couple 30 to 40 to 50 years down the line. That's just something that's always been super cool to me, is the fact that you're creating a product not for today, not for tomorrow, not to go on social media and get pushed down the feed, but creating a product that they can look back on 50 years down the line. So yeah, if you've been around the filmmaking world for any time now and you've heard the term, oh yeah, wedding filmmaking is like the low-hanging fruit, like you want to get into commercial work, you want to get into big projects, you want to work for these big companies, I don't think I buy it anymore, man. I absolutely love wedding filmmaking, and to be honest, I could see myself doing this for the rest of my lives, where a lot of people start in wedding filmmaking or start like filming weddings for friends and they kind of graduate up to other areas of filmmaking. I could see myself being a wedding videographer for the rest of my career, and I would not have any regrets about that because I absolutely love it. Hopefully YouTube is something that I'm going to start doing a lot more of here soon. I'm hoping I can keep consistent with it, just filming videos, talking about filmmaking, talking about my business, and yeah, hopefully having a whole lot of fun. We'll see you guys soon.